what irritates me is that they try to hide what's going on here. So like they've obviously put these in this big box to make it look like you're getting a big portion, but you're not. Everything's being made to look like you're getting something good, and it never is.
It's like the price has gone up, but you're getting less as well, and sometimes the quality's not even there. So it's like we're starting to do this less and less now. And I'm sure we're not the only ones. The chips have ruined his day now. Morning, Steve. It's not morning, is it? What time is it? About 3 o'clock? It's about 3 o'clock. Oh, so I'm feeling absolutely rotten today. You're kind of over yours, aren't you, pretty much?
Yeah, I still feel a bit lacking in energy, but it's part of the course for me, I'm afraid.
So yesterday, after we left that lovely, amazing spot, we drove around the Loch Lomond, and we came to a place called, where are we? Killin. I don't know if that's how you say it. I believe it's a Gaelic name, so it originated from when this area was mostly a Gaelic area and people spoke Gaelic, I guess. I don't know if they still do here. When we went to the Outer Hebrides, we found that a lot of people still did. But yeah, it's a Gaelic name. I did read the meaning, but I can't remember, so I will put that in later, or down here, either or. On paper it looks like an unfortunate name, but I think it's got a much nicer meaning than that. So let's go and have a look.
Killin is a small village right at the northern tip of the Loch Lomond and the Trossachs National Park, but with a surprising amount to see on its doorstep. And up first was what we initially came here for, the Falls of Dochart, a series of rapids that cascade directly through the village. And just down the road, hidden among the trees, is Finlarig Castle and Bracklinn Mausoleum, the latter of which fell into disuse a century ago. The castle, built in the 1620s by Sir Duncan Campbell, is sparse on information, but there's something about mysterious ruins like these, slowly reclaimed by nature's green arms, that holds our imaginations captive. It's a glimpse of a time past that almost seems fictional, like a remnant from a fantasy tale. You can almost picture ancient treasures and magical beings lurking among the crumbling stone.
Alright, what do you think then of Killin, Steve?
It's nice.
It is nice, isn't it?
It is. Very peaceful, nice little atmosphere.
But interestingly, the castle, it's not very well signposted, so you probably have to look on Google Maps or something similar in order to know about it, because if you were wandering around the village, you probably wouldn't know it was there, basically, whereas everything else tends to have signs telling you where to go to find them. And I'm still feeling rough. Right, what are we doing, Stevie? What's the plan?
Going back to the van.
Yep, get something to eat.
Some mushy peas and corned beef all mixed together in a big disgusting bowl with loads of pepper.
Sounds absolutely foul. Let's go. We're in Co-op in Killin in Scotland, and we're just food shopping, as you can see. £6.15 for 3 little bottles. Crackers. I mean, we know it's more expensive in Scotland for alcohol, and I understand that, but when it's like that, that's mad.
Morning. So we are still in the village of Killin, and we are going to move on today. I've still got a bad cold. I don't feel great still. So we're going to move on to the little town we passed through when we first came here called Callander. It's quite a lot bigger than this one actually, but still looks quite a small place. But it looks worth exploring. It looks very pretty, and I'm not meaning to look like Kate Winslet in Titanic here. I'm sure I don't at all actually, but I'm not trying to imitate the pose. But this is just where I'm sitting as the camera starts. I don't know why I explained that.
Should we pick up some lunch, Steve?
Oh yeah. Well, and breakfast.
Yeah. Breakfast, lunch and dinner.
And tea.
We came to this little town, and of course we bought chips. We haven't had chips for ages, have we?
No.
What do you think, Stevie?
I think for £3.50, that's shit. Because it looks like there's a lot, but there's not. You can just see it's just a layer of chips.
Yeah.
You know, it's a big pot. They could have put a lot more in there. We did ask for a large. And it's like, okay, I don't need to eat masses of chips, but stop ripping people off.
The more you swear, the more I've got to blurt out here.
Well, it's pissing me off. And I actually think it's just, people want to say it's because of this and because of that. It's not, it's greed.
Yeah,
Some of it is just greed. Some of it, the prices were high before all of this happened. The prices went up. The greed is already there.
So Steve's having a good day.
Oh.
Yeah, we're not overly impressed, to be honest. I mean, I think everything's gone up at the moment. Chips have gone up on their own. But sometimes it's like the price has gone up, but you're getting less as well, and sometimes the quality's not even there. So it's like we're starting to do this less and less now. And I'm sure we're not the only ones. You know, they're all right, don't get us wrong, but there's ever diminishing returns, it seems, for more money.
What irritates me is that they try to hide what's going on here. So like they've obviously put these in this big box to make it look like you're getting a big portion, but you're not. So everybody walks around and thinks, oh yeah, that looks like a good sized portion of chips from there. But it ain't. It's all just it's all just fake. Everything's being made to look like you're getting something good, and it never is.
And this often happens in the touristy towns, doesn't it? It's often worse in places like this. But never mind.
And I just think £3.50 is too much for a portion of chips anyway.
It is really. Just been in the Christmas shop, and I asked the lady, and apparently it's open all year round. All the year, that is a Christmas shop. I mean, I don't know how that functions, I don't know how it works, I don't know if there's a major demand in this place above all others, but there we go. Interesting. Right, fun little fact, a lot of the brickwork that's used in the buildings here is made up of a stone called Puddingstone. So I don't know why it's called Puddingstone, but that's what it is. A lot of the red brick that you see in some of the buildings around here, they're all different shades. It's called Puddingstone.
Red brick.
It's because this area sits on a boundary fault between two things that I can't quite remember, and that's where
the Highlands and the Lowlands.
That's something like that. And then the Puddingstone is extracted from that area, and that's what it's been used to build a lot of these houses. So there we go, Puddingstone. I've never heard of that. Have you?
No.
Not until today. Okay, so this little graveyard here, which is quite fascinating and intriguing, just because it's all overgrown, and that gives it a sense of, I don't know, it's very atmospheric looking. But this hut, this 8-sided hut, was actually to keep watch, to stop people grave robbing, basically, which obviously used to happen all the time. So I think this hut here was designed that somebody would keep watch at night to deter grave robbers from digging up corpses. So that used to happen a lot, because not just people didn't just do it just to dig up the corpses to get items off the bodies. They did it so that a lot of people who worked in science, medical examiners, they would pay people to dig up bodies so they could examine them, because at a time, for a period of time, well, for a long time, it wasn't legal to do that. So then an act passed in the 1800s that allowed scientists to actually study dead bodies and, you know, executed bodies, all sorts of things like that. So it kind of stopped this stuff happening, presumably. But yeah, that's interesting. So people used to dig up bodies for money, for scientists, illegally, so they could actually study them. Whereas now, obviously, you could just do it anyway.
Nice.
Very some little facts there. You happy, Steve?
Yeah, thrilled.
The chips have ruined his day now.
Yeah. Still lacking energy from that cold, really. I don't have energy at the best of times. But...
yeah. I'm not feeling it either. I think we're both a bit there.
That was a bit harder.
This often happens to us. If we get something, we eat something, or we have a bad experience, suddenly we're just not interested in the entire place we're at, and it just makes you want to leave. I'm sure we're not the only ones, but yeah. So we're walking now up to Bracklinn Falls. It's only about a mile from the town, but it is uphill through these woods, and they're meant to be quite pretty, and also we might be able to park there for the night. Not 100% sure. We're going to check it out when we're there, so if not, doesn't matter. We've seen some waterfalls potentially, and if so, even better, we can walk back down and drive up.
As above, so below, I like to watch you closely. You're looking toward the stars for all the answers that you hold inside you. The cool moonlight takes us tonight. Let our souls collide. Fall into this moment with you when everything aligns.
What you found, Stevie?
Wild raspberry.
Ooh. So yeah, we didn't realise that blueberries grew wild here, and raspberries as well. I don't know if it's the season or not, if it's the end or the start, we have no idea, but we've noticed people picking blueberries in certain places, and we found some raspberries today. So we might look into it before we leave, and maybe we can get some, because that would be really lovely to go foraging, especially for raspberries and blueberries, which I don't think either of us would have expected to find, to be honest. But as Stephen said, we probably won't find any now. We've seen one, and that's it.
Come around the world with me. If only we could be so lucky. There is so much more that's out there for us to see.
So this is Bracklinn Falls. It's about 1.5 miles outside of Callander, just up a hill. Really nice walk. The bridge we're on, there's an information board just outside of it, but this bridge, it was replaced in 2004. It's been replaced many times over the years, but this bridge here was washed away. I can feel it moving now. Was washed away by a flash flood in 2004. Now, when you see how low it is and how high we are, that seems unbelievable, doesn't it? I can't quite get my head around that.
I mean, look.
That's insane. Right, so that was Callander. What do we think, Stevie? It's not really our cup of tea, is what he said earlier, and I think he's right. Really, it's all right. It's very touristy.
It's touristy. It's expensive. and there's really not a lot to see. So no thanks.
That's it. We're moving on. Yeah, it was all right. I mean, there are shops there, and it's okay, but there's nothing. I would say it's unremarkable, so it wasn't brilliant. But the walk up to the falls that we went to just now was well worth it. So you go through the woodlands, all sorts of countryside, there was wildflowers, you had some great views, and then you come to the falls at the end, which is mostly impressive for the gorge and the tall rocks around it rather than the falls themselves, but the little waterfall is still nice to look at. So I would say that's worth the trek, and it gets you out of the town for a bit. So you can still make a day of it here, as we have, but definitely make the effort. Like if you were just coming for the town itself, maybe not so much, you know, it's okay just to pass through, but if you are stopping, it's probably worth going out on one of the walks, because there are many walks here from this place and up to the falls, and you can go beyond that. It's really worth it. Anyway, with that in mind, we are going to find a park up for the night.